What's up guys, welcome back to another edition of Skatepark Lessons with me, JB. And today we're gonna be checking out some 187 killer pads so I can give you guys my personal review and recommendations about buying a set. So the first thing when you get a set of these is you recognize the quality. They're so much thicker and the padding inside feels like quality. It's a harder foam, it doesn't feel like memory foam, but that harder foam is better protection for impact, especially higher impact. The first thing you do when you open these up is you notice these butterfly straps on the inside. See that? So when I lay them on my knee, I take the first set of butterfly straps, the top butterfly straps, pull the female side and then to the male side, and then I use the first top strap to hold them in place. Then I grab the bottom female side and strap the male side on top and then put the bottom strap on. Now when I do the bottom strap, I don't do it too tight. As you bend your leg, it's gonna pinch to help hold this in place. I noticed these pads are made with better quality with a more of a heavier duty nylon on the sides and then nice nylon across the top. So this larger strip of Velcro allows for more adjustability as opposed to your cheaper Amazon pads, super thin. You can pretty much bend them with one squeeze. You can like bend them in half and there's really no padding inside. It's a shame they even sell these as pads. So the inside fabric here is really nice and stretchy and it's comfortable to mold to your knee. Moreover, if you pull this open, you can see the pad thickness on the inside here. And that's what the actual foam looks like for the padding. So that when you smash on your knee, it doesn't hurt so bad. So here's the inside foam that cups your knee. And then here's the extra padding that's behind the actual sliding part of the kneecap itself. The other cool thing about these pads is that this cap is replaceable. So over time, you don't have to buy a brand new set unless you wear them out that much, but you can hold down and pull up. And then you see this whole piece of plastic is replaceable. And you undo this Velcro here, and then you can slide this out like that. And they sell replacement caps to swap it out. As you do your knee slides, this is gonna wear down and wear away and eventually will burn a hole. But these are really thick and it's really hard. Even with two hands, I can't squeeze to fold them. This, I can use my left hand and just squeeze and fold these like nothing. But these are nice and thick plastic. So in order to put the cap back on, slide the Velcro through the holder, pull it nice and tight, and then strap it back down. And it's cool how the cap actually has Velcro built on the inside here. I think they glue this onto the inside to create extra grip so that your kneecap doesn't slide off in the knee pads or move when you're sliding. One of the big things that I do need to let everybody know to recommend is they sell two versions of the Pro pads. They sell the Pro Derby version, which is almost, I think it's more for girls size because it's a little bit smaller size. So if you were to buy larges, they'd fit more like mediums. And everything about the Pro Derby pads is a little bit smaller. The 187 Pro knee pads, the Pro pads are more true to fit, and as well as having extra large pieces, like the cap is bigger and the pads themselves are bigger and bulkier. The butterfly wings are fabric covered neoprene, which is really nice. So it allows them to stretch just a little bit. And then they sew the Velcro on directly through the neoprene, which holds it on really well. The straps have ballistic nylon here to hold the buckles. The elasticity of the straps themselves are made with really good quality, so they don't get loose over time when you continue to take them off and put them back on. So when I put these on, remember, top butterfly strap first, bottom and then top cover, and then top strap over top. Grab the bottom one first, other side over top, strap through the buckle and then pull it back around and strap it to the side. And remember, your bottom strap doesn't need to be that tight. Which brings me to my next thing. If you guys want additional padding, I highly recommend, especially if you either have bad knees or you're 30 and over, or you skate big transition like vert, big bowls, anything like that, get some knee gaskets. Old Bones Therapy makes probably the best ones right now. They're very comfortable, they're easily washable, which is awesome. Stretchy fabric, and then on the inside, they sew in, it's like a gel ring that fits nice and tight around your kneecap to hold your kneecap in place and provide that extra padding, especially around your ACL. I feel like the sizing for these is true to fit, so typically a shirt size for me was medium, so I got medium knee pads and they fit perfect. The one big thing that I hear from a lot of people, and I noticed myself, when I first got my first set of 187 knee pads, I put them on and they almost feel like big pillows on your knees, except they're not as super comfortable, but that's because they're like new shoes and they do take time to break in. So when you first put them on, it feels like you almost can't straighten your legs because they have a slight bend to them, so that when you stand up and bend, and when you stand up straight, they want to kind of angle down and in. But that works really well that when you bend your knee to create that protection, that they hug your knee. Because the foam on the inside is actually contoured to fit your kneecap, which is a really nice bonus. Moreover, these plastic caps are high quality plastic. They're almost like Delrin plastic, which is what they use for like cutting boards and things like that. So they're nice and hard and they slide really well, and that's really what you want. You want pads that are gonna slide, especially on any type of concrete or surface, as opposed to cheap plastic that ends up being soft. There's a big chance that it'll grab onto a rough surface and then pull down. So it'll actually come off and then you can scrape your knees real bad. So remember you want these things to slide. Honestly, the best way to wear knee pads is with shorts. That way there can be a little bit of moisture from sweat, and that will help the fabric grip to your knee and stay on your leg. When you wear jeans or pants, it creates more of a slippery surface, so the pads can slide a lot easier until they start to get sweaty. So just be aware of that, depending on if you're wearing pants or if you're in a cold climate. So as you put the strap on, you don't need to make them super tight. When you do your top strap, you can do your top, it's just nice and snug, but the bottom strap doesn't have to be super tight. You can make this kind of loose, and if it feels too tight and it starts to feel uncomfortable, loosen the bottom strap first, and then try again. Skate around, see how it feels. Remember, you will have to break these in, so it will take some skating to break them in, but then they'll start to feel really comfortable. And as you wear them, you'll build trust in your knee pads. From working at skate shops and skate parks, I've learned that washing the pads can sometimes make them even more smelly, especially if you mix multiple pads together in a washing machine and add bleach. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it works great. So that's a personal decision, but personally I find that spraying them with disinfectant spray and leaving them in the sun is the best way to clean my pads and make the smell go away. Sometimes you can't make the smell go away totally, but I don't really sweat that much, so just spraying them heavy with disinfectant spray and letting them sit in the sun until they get really hot seems to work really well for me. Building trust in your knee pads and your knee slides, it goes a huge distance for improving your skateboarding. As I always tell everybody, skateboarding is probably 60% confidence, maybe more. 60% confidence, 40% talent. Final review of these pads. If you're a diehard skateboarder, or you plan on staying safe, or you want that added protection, remember, spending a little bit more on pads is always cheaper than a visit to the emergency room. So do yourself a favor, get high quality knee pads, especially knee pads, since that's what you fall on the most. When you learn to bail, it's gonna be knee slides the most. Some people choose to not wear elbow pads, that's okay. Some people just wear one elbow pad. If you wanna wear one elbow pad, make sure it's your lead elbow. And then of course, pick a nice comfortable helmet to protect your head. I'd like to give a special thank you to Vinton from 187 for making me these custom pads with the logos on the sides. They feel great. Do yourself a favor, get a set, protect your body, and have fun skating. See you guys at the park.